I moved back home to Norwich, and half a month later, I had been lined up with a new project. But my company was being very untransparent. I called them on their bluff, and the project got cancelled, and as a result, I got fired. Though I've managed to secure evidence of their wrongdoing, meaning if they try to take me to court for damages, I will sink their entire company. Checkmate. In the meantime, I've looked for work. Even though it's tough now, I've narrowly missed out on 2 opportunities, each paying me more than double what I was making before. I'm currently in the process for a few more opportunities, and I'm confident I will get something by the end of the year that will pay me at least 2 times what I was making before. Possibly ranking up to a leadership role, which I'm confident I can actually do. Though while applying, I've been working on my startup with my bro, and we've virtually completed our first project. Not paid, as it's for my mum's business, though that doesn't take away from the technical accomplishment. By the end of the year, I should be able to scale the startup to take on more clients, with the hope that during 2021 it will grow into a stable main income. In other words, career rise. I'm all set. Over the last 3 years, I focused on improving my health, discipline. Needless to say, it's been on and off, but I've finally achieved a harmonious balance of work, sleep, exercise, and diet. It was surprisingly hard for someone with as many bad habits as me to come this far, though it finally feels natural, which is a sign that all the hard work has finally paid off. My mental state is also at its calmest that it's ever been in my life. It's hard to describe, but it feels as blissful as being completely ignorant of all the fucked up shit in the world, but being 100% switched on and in tune with it all. Even though I understand the problems I'm personally facing, and ones that we're facing as a society, it doesn't actually rob me of any of my calm, and I almost feel as if I'm detached from the issues and I'm just an observer. Honestly, I don't feel lockdown was the cause for the majority of mental instability issues that we're now seeing in the population. People are always walking around with these issues, just that lockdown surfaced them. Fortunately, I had already painlessly worked through all my issues, so lockdown didn't really affect me one bit. And I was just joking, it wasn't painless at all. It was very painful. But in reality, at least now that I can just enjoy the fact that everything is being shoved remote and I don't have to worry about commuting or really moving to take on interesting contracts all over the country and potentially even the world. It's crazy how much just having a routine like getting up at 6 a.m. every day, biking 100 miles a week, and working during the day and relaxing at night can go a long way to making me feel more like an adult. However, I think what really pushed me over the edge was this realization I had with my relationship with my dad. Living at home and being unemployed was quite a cause for concern for my dad. For those of you that don't know, I've had a terrible relationship with him since age 13, all the way till age 24, when we somehow reconciled that. Before that, it got to the point that I had finally given up on him and was going to cut him out of my life once I moved to London. Since we had almost had a year of a decent relationship after more than a decade of almost family split in turmoil, he himself prefers how things are now as well. At least that much about him has changed, so he avoids trying to set me off. But in reality, his dogmatic approach and views on life are exactly the same, and he doesn't really still understand how to listen. So, he will essentially complain endlessly to my mum about the situation I'm in, but not show his real intent to me, as he's scared he'll start a fight. In essence, he would be more proud of me living in my own shithole in London, making barely enough money to pay rent, than live at home, reset, and land a 6-figure job. To him, me living independently trumps all other achievements in my life, in terms of what he respects. To someone who has invested so much effort and time into rebuilding his body, mind, and skills, this comes across as a joke. My choice on investing in myself would pay off 10, if not 100 times over my life, over rushing into unnecessary complications, though he doesn't need to worry, as I can't get set off anymore like I did in the past. It's because even though we had reconciled, I had still somewhat abandoned considering him as a father. I came to the realization that I had designated him as a family friend, what we call an uncle in our culture as a sign of respect. It's because I can respect him as a good human who I can get along with, but our relationship is very thin and somewhat superficial, as he wouldn't be my friend if it wasn't for being a friend of the family. As I've written him off as a father, then it doesn't bother me when he fails to live up to what a father should be. After all, he's not my father to begin with. All the times we fought in the past wasn't because I hated him or wanted him to go away, but more so I wanted him to step up and actually be a father my brother, mum, and I can be proud of. Till this day, he's made no to little progress in that regard whatsoever. Even if he kicked me out, I wouldn't feel bad about it, since at the end of the day, I've given up on trying to make him understand his value as a father. Even though I've lost the potential of having a meaningful relationship with him, at least I have a decent relationship with him as a family friend. When I realized I was able to put that into words for myself and be happy with it, it dawned on me that this was probably the thought process of somebody that was hopefully going to live a very long and peaceful life going forwards. I'm sure my dad won't like to hear that, and I don't consider him a father anymore, but if that is the reality, that is my truth. While there might be no need to explicitly say this to him, I won't lie with my words or my actions. I feel like I've somehow found the harmony between adaptability that's needed to excel in any situation and the stubbornness to not blindly accept my own or others' ideas without thoroughly reflection on them. It's strange, but I can see the duality of something being complex and simple, easy and hard, obvious but obscured. Even though it might sound vague, it's just clicked to the point that I don't think I could even have a heated argument with anyone, even if I thought they were dangerously wrong. It's strange because even though I'm sure that I could come across more compassionately with this line of thought, my thought processes are just as analytical as they've ever been.